Let's discuss the digital workspace transformation with Citrix XenDesktop and XenApp. My name is Travis Lawrence. I'm a solutions architect with Arrow. Today we're going to discuss Citrix XenApp and XenDesktop and really some of the transformational pieces that we see out in the workplace, meaning anywhere access, things like consumerization or BYOD, also the security risks tied to data and desktops, and then finally cloud adoption and where we see that really entering into the business. So when we discuss anywhere access, we really mean how do we extend apps and data out to our customers or our workforce really. So we often talk about digital transformation, and really within that is the digital workspace. So being able to say, regardless of device type or where data is actually located, we can extend any of those pieces out to our users and make it easy for them to access those without them having to be concerned of what device type they're using, whether they're connected to a specific network, whether they have VPN, credentials, single sign-on, all those different types of things. So XenDesktop and XenApp really allow us to extend those functions to different devices, meaning that we can be on a PC or we can be on a Mac device in the office, but we can also be out on location with a customer of ours and pull up an iPad or an Android phone and be able to access that same data, regardless of whether it's really behind the corporate firewall, whether it's a software as a service or cloud application, or wherever that piece of data is located, or even that full application. XenDesktop really allows us to access a full-fledged desktop using all the applications and functions that we would maybe inside of our corporation. And then XenApp really allows us to decouple the applications from a desktop and deliver that to a device. So maybe we have a traditional Windows app, we can extend that to an iOS device like an iPad, and we really get a lot of flexibility there. Users really just want to access the data and desktops that they have with their device of choice. So again, addressing that and being able to extend that across all these different device types is great for users, but from a corporate IT perspective, it can be kind of difficult. So that's where XenDesktop and XenApp come in to pull together this digital workspace. It's really gone beyond just a virtual desktop, is being able to extend those applications out anywhere and decide which parts of the device, application, desktop we really choose to support as a corporation. Being able to have options to extend applications and desktops out to users from central locations like on-premises data centers or secure cloud environments really helps us to mitigate a lot of the security risks that we have. So we can have better control, better choke points over that data and information. We can have better visibility into those because we're taking a XenDesktop environment and extending that out to the user wherever they are on whatever device they choose, but we're centralizing the data and the applications back in that data center or back in a specific cloud environment where we have better security controls. So it's really a win-win in those scenarios where we can give the users more flexibility in the types of devices they use, the types of applications that they can leverage, but we also get that corporate IT control and get better flexibility in what we deploy and how we deploy it and the controls really around that. A lot of the transformation that we see today is really around cloud adoption and the various mechanisms we can use, the various ways that we can start to leverage cloud and understand where cloud fits and where it doesn't. Well, one of the flexible things that we see a great benefit in XenApp and XenDesktop is the ability to provision across a variety of places. So if you have a on-premises private cloud where you're highly automated and you deploy your desktops there, you can also actually extend desktops out into public clouds like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. Or if we have continually branch offices, we can provision to those as well. So the flexibility there really allows us to control costs and be able to deal with things like seasonal workloads or contractors. And being able to understand where we want to position those desktops without having to really change the way that we provision from our traditional XenApp and XenDesktop environments allows us to pivot and understand as we go, we can slowly transition into a different deployment mechanism for our desktop scenarios. We also have the option to leverage hyperconverged infrastructure to make the deployment process more easy. So what we can do in that scenario is leverage Citrix Cloud as the control plane and easily snap in these hyperconverged appliances from HPE SimpliVity and Nutanix to quickly build out our data center in a sort of a building block approach. And we contrast that with, again, we have choice in this environment. With XenApp, with XenDesktop, we can say, in our on-premises data center, we want to control all the components. We want to design that infrastructure, the compute, the storage, the network. We want to build that out ourselves. Or we can go to the other end of the spectrum and build on Microsoft Azure or Amazon Web Services and provision desktops into those public cloud services. This HCI deployment actually gives us that middle ground where we can quickly deploy desktops by taking these appliances, easily installing them in our data center, having the combined compute and storage, the ease of hardware provisioning, and then combining that with that Citrix cloud control plane to quickly download and install the XenDesktop, XenApp deployment components and be up and running, 5 to 10 times faster than we would in a traditional environment where we have to build our VDI and virtual app infrastructure ourselves. Ultimately, the flexibility that XenApp and XenDesktop give us from a provisioning perspective, meaning how we build our environment. So whether we want to do that on premises, whether we use HCI or whether we use public cloud, gives us the ability to better serve our customers from an IT department perspective. So again, giving them quicker time to market to saying, I want to be able to access all my application and data from the devices of choice so I can do better work, so I can get to work more quickly, so I can be more efficient, is really what ultimately XenApp and XenDesktop and the digital workspace are about.